the reaction of people when things turn, the market turns where it's less favorable, it's just human nature that everyone's okay with prices going up, as sellers, when the market is buoyant. But there's a lot of reticence, a lot of holding back if you have to sell in a down market, unless it's extreme, like when I was in Calgary. So when you look at those curves, it flattens, it goes up, but if it goes down really slow, because everyone's saying, no way, I'm going to sell for less than what I knew it was worth last year or whatever. That kind of
sellers are the last to know.
Yeah. And you were referring to over the years, I think the board provides, since 1956, the numbers, and you look at the list of percentage changes, it's rarely in the two digits going up, more than that, 10, 12% in crazy markets. There's maybe a few exceptions, but I think there was only 3 or 4 years where it was actually negative, and it was like 2-3% at most, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. So it's very, very stable.
Yeah, that's generally what I tell clients is the people that move to Ottawa to work for the government or to work in high tech are fiscally conservative.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, now things kind of seem a little crazier right now, but they don't, it's a different outlook than a more business centric city like Toronto or Calgary, where they're there for the money. So they're
more risk takers.
They're way bigger risk takers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I think Vancouver's a different thing going on, lack of land and stuff, and weather. But yeah, Ottawa is engineers, economists, people looking for stability is basically the way. Very huge simplification, but if that's what the average is, it affects the way the market moves. And so, and I agree with you, sellers are the last to know when the prices are going down, right? So maybe it holds there for a while, but if eventually you have to sell in a market that Ottawa's probably never seen, like you talked about in Calgary and possibly parts of California at times.
There's a point, it may be veering off the real estate topic, but you brought up something earlier, and I think it merits a comment. I'm obviously a very proud Canadian, and as you, having lived in other cultures, and didn't think it was that different until the past few years living in the U.S. But I have to remark that, like you said, oh, I've never been to San Diego, but I heard about it, and that would be on top of my list or something to that effect. I do have a love-hate kind of perspective, having lived the years I did there, about California. And I think it's an interesting observation to share with your listeners. When I got the opportunity to move there, I was just recently married, got a green card out of the blue, strangely enough, and I was happier than could be. The nice house that I wanted, a nice stone house in the Civic Hospital area, and life was going great. I had a good income, had a good job in managing that Remax office. And when this opportunity to move there came up, I thought, wow, pinch me. How lucky can I be? California, palm trees, beaches, on the beach in the morning, skiing in the afternoon, like name it. Mexico, just across the proverbial river. It was just like going to Hull kind of thing. And Tijuana was just so much fun, inexpensive. I thought I'd gone to heaven. So there I, load up the truck and move to Beverly kind of thing. And the first year there was just amazing. I just couldn't believe I didn't have to give away my boots, my shovels, all that stuff. Yay. But then the reality of the place started sinking in terms of the values, in terms of some things that aren't obviously apparent, and then our my daughter was born there, and then you have a completely different perspective. Like, is this the environment and the values of a place that I want to live in? I'm painting with a very wide brush because there's so many nice people I met there.
Mhm.
But the things you see politically now, and the divisions of, you could start seeing some of those there. It wasn't as extreme, but it was there, and it was annoying. And but gradually, I started recognizing that it's not where I want my kids to grow up. Quite honestly. And so many times when I said, "Oh yeah, I used to live there," I said, "And you came back?" I said, "Yes, I came back." We have so much here. Yeah, it's cold and winter and all this. I'm so much prouder and happier Canadian having had the experience of living there. A lot of people will not agree with me, but we have to recognize all the good things that we have here. And I wouldn't go back. I love traveling there. I have a lot of friends to stay at, but invariably, and I've been back dozens of times since I came back in the mid 90s. It's always like, oh, why did I leave this place? It's so beautiful. Then within a day or two, starts dawning on me again. The traffic, the intolerances politically and otherwise, the extreme wealth and the extreme poverty. I don't mind paying more taxes to contribute towards a more balanced society. I could go on and on about this. I guess my key message here is we've got a lot to appreciate here, and more so than you may think if you haven't had the experience of living in that other environment. Again, I don't want to be dissing Americans and their values and all this, because they're some of the nicest people I've ever met there, but it still has a lot of cracks, and it's worrisome. If you read the news just recently, how many corporations are leaving California because it's over red taped and so on. There's a lot of issues. I wish them well, but I'm glad I'm here. So I said.
I agree. I think now I grew up in Ottawa. I'm pretty sure you grew up in Ottawa as well. I think it's
Sandy
good
Hill.
for young. Sorry?
Sandy Hill.
That's what I thought. I thought I looked at when you sold, or your brother sold your parents' old duplex, triplex. I can't remember what street.
Recently?
No.
My parents, on Wilbrod Street. Yeah.
On Wilbrod, yeah. Anyways, Connie, my wife and I decided to come back and come here, and we going away from Ottawa made us realize how much we like Ottawa for family, for forests in behind. I don't know if you see your forest. I see a forest in behind you. Just our proximity to everything, and our truly not that bad traffic, even though I was sitting on the Queensway for an hour yesterday heading west. I don't know why. I have no idea why there was stop and go. But anyways, compared to other places, living in Ottawa has a lot to offer. But I also think it's good for people to leave so they can appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I don't mean for 2 weeks. I mean leave. Go somewhere, try living somewhere else, get to know some different people, and then come back or not. But,
we're very, very, very fortunate. And had I not had that experience, I probably would have been like many people I speak to who just politicians this, and we have so little of the real difficult issues that many countries have. So there we go. A love fest for Canada.
Yeah. All right. So people want to know about real estate. We had an interesting conversation the other day, maybe 2 days ago. I can't remember, but it was about the way listings are changing. In Ottawa, it wasn't historically a place where people would underprice, but I believe, and we'll ask you for your opinion, that homes that could easily justify a higher asking price are very often being listed well under that asking price.